What's going on, guys? Matteo Mining here. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. So, talk of the town right now is ICERIVER Kaspa ASIC overclocks. I have received a bunch of questions, people wondering, what, if I know how to do the overclocks, where can I get the overclocks? Is there a firmware upgrade? Yada, 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 blah, 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 etc. Okay. As of right now, there is no specific firmware upgrade, to my knowledge anyway, that is just you install the firmware and you are able to overclock. No. So what the deal is with that is there are people on Discord who have, a vast more knowledge of dev than I do, who are offering to remote into your device, set whatever parameters they need to set, and that allows you to overclock your system. What they are saying that we were supposed to be getting is about 160 gigahash at about 120 watts, silicon lottery pending, of course. So also T-Swift is working on an actual DIY version of this to where I'm not sure exactly what it will be. If it will be a firmware upgrade, like a third-party firmware upgrade that you can just install yourself. I'm not sure exactly what it will be, but all I have to say is what the hell is going on here? Something's going on with my node. Anyways, sorry, look at that. I'm getting off topic. So what that means, sorry about that, guys. Totally lost my train of thought right there. So just to recap on that part a little bit, T-Swift is in development of what I'm thinking is a third-party software, firmware really, that you can install that might take care of these overclocks for you, or it might actually be some type of standalone software that you run that allows you to get into the KS0 or KS1 or whatever you have to set the overclocks yourself. Kind of like maybe even possibly how I think Red Panda had his set up originally when they first sent him the KS2 for testing. He did not have a user interface to get into to set that up. They actually had to use some type of other software to get into it to set all that stuff. So maybe that's what this will be along the lines of, is something where that software that actually allows you to configure it. So there you have it. As far to my knowledge, that's the only information that there is about there regarding the overclocks for the ICERIVER devices. There's people out there who will take care of it on Discord, or there's possibly very soon something coming from T-Swift that'll allow you to take care of it yourself. So to the best of my knowledge, there is no actual firmware upgrade on ICERIVER's website that you would just download and plug in. So that leads me to my next thing. Please be very, very, very careful in what you guys do. It's your business if you want to contact somebody on Discord who is saying that they can take care of this, but just always remember they will be remoting into your network, your device. They will have access to all of your stuff. So just common sense, guys. Then the next thing that is kind of, I don't want to say iffy out there, but just something to take into consideration. You want to make sure that you have enough cooling and enough power, especially for the KS0s, to be running these upgrades. These overclocks. Because, for one, I myself am a little hesitant on overclocking the KS0. Because one, heat is the enemy of all electronics. The more time it spends overheated, the quicker the whole device is going to die. So, really, you take your device in your hands, literally, when you're overclocking these. Really, you could be setting these things to their doom a lot faster than they should be by overclocking them. So just be very careful there as well. You want to make sure that you have sufficient cooling. We might even need to have better cooling than the little USB fans that, a lot of us have been plugging in. You also want to make sure that you have a decent power supply. If you are running ICERIVER's power supply that came with the KS0, that's not going to be enough. That's a 90 watt power supply. And if you're at 120, obviously that ain't going to do it. You always want to make sure to stay at the 80% rule. So say if you have a 100 watt power supply, you only want to be using about 80 watts of it. So you will need to get something more than the standard power supply that came with the original, or not the original, but that came with your ICERIVER purchase, if that's what you got. Now down in the description below, I have links to the USB fan that I'm using, as well as the 120 watt power supply that I've been using as the current setup. Now, that with the overclocks, that 120 watt power supply, that will not be enough. Because if your device is clocked at 120 and you have a 120 watt power supply, you are over that 80% rule. So I will be doing some research in the future to see if there is another power supply out there that we can use that gives us enough power to run these things in an overclocked state. The last thing that I wanted to talk about really quick was all of these overclocks that we're about to be getting into. You guys are not going to see that much more return. You might for the first couple of days or so, but as more and more devices are becoming overclocked, the hash rate is going to go up, and really it's all just going to even out, and we're really going to be back at the exact same place that we are now. So I mean, it's almost kind of unfortunate that these overclocks are coming out. I mean, don't get me wrong, overclocking is great, that's awesome, but really all it's doing is driving the network hash rate up and yielding all of us less. I mean, if everybody remembers, again, like LHR, I mean, as soon as they released the drivers for those LHR cards to make them normal, I mean, it was great, it was awesome, yeah, but then all it did was drive the network hash rate up, and really, like for, a couple of days or a week or whatever it was, people who got those drivers implemented first saw great returns on it, but then as soon as everybody else and their mother got on it, it all just kind of slumped back down and evened out. So yeah, you'll be getting more hash rate, but after a few days, it's going to go right back to where it was. So food for thought there. If this information helped you out today and you felt the need to reciprocate, please definitely like the video, and if you want to subscribe, that would be fantastic too. It does nothing but help the channel. So the big question, just to recap, the big question before we go is, can we overclock our ICERIVER ASICs? It's coming, but it's not in the hands yet of the typical consumer. You can't download a firmware upgrade from ICERIVER that automatically allows this to be done. The only way to do it as of right now is to contact some random person from Discord and I guess roll the dice and have them remote into your personal network and hope to God that they don't screw you. And I'm sure that all these people out here doing this awesome work on Discord, I'm sure they are doing it with all of the greatest intentions. But, once the word gets out that these awesome people are taking care of people and doing these awesome overclocks, that leaves the door open for wrongdoers to come in and rob you blind. So just be careful out there, you guys. You don't want to lose all your Kaspa, or even worse, lose a whole bunch of other stuff. So the next thing, besides the people on Discord, is, again, T-Swift is working on some type of development project to where either it's a third-party firmware upgrade, I think, or some type of standalone software that allows you to overclock your software, not overclock your software, but overclock your KS0 on your own. So again, that's all I know for right now. I'm sure there will be a lot more information out there coming very, very soon. So again, like the video if it helped you out. Subscribe, please, if I helped you out. If you still did want to get ready for this and purchase some USB fans, 120 watt power supply just in case, just at least get you off of the 90 watter, all the links down in the description below. I will be doing some research to see if I can find a higher wattage power supply, so stay tuned for that. That's about all I got. Everybody have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of the day. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.